Okay, remember we slip the first stitch and we purl. Insert the needle through the back, wrap it away from you, and then take it off the back, transfer it to the right hand needle, and then we're going to continue that so we can see the difference in our knit and our purl stitches.
How do you know how long to go for?
Well, if you to determine what you want to do, that's why we make a swatch. You make a swatch and you measure it. You count how many stitches you get per inch, and then you can figure out how many stitches you need to cast on. Say, for instance, you want to make a shirt and it measured 10 inches. Then you would measure how many stitches you get per inch and multiply that, and you can figure out how many stitches you need to cast on. So the last stitch we're going to knit. We're going to turn it around. Now we want to cast off because we finished, and I want you to see this is your garter stitch, what it look like. This is knit the entire thing and then purl a row. Knit a row, purl a row. So this is your purl finish on the front, and they're like little V's, and the back on the then this is your purl stitch rather, and this is your knit stitch. So the knit stitch look like little V's, and the purl stitches look like little seeds, little lumps. But the garter stitch look the same on the front and the back. Right. So now we want to bind off. We finished with this and we want to take it off the needle. So we're going to knit, slip the first stitch and then knit. So when you bind off, you want to knit your knit stitches and purl your purl stitches. But this one is all knit. So what you want to do is you want to knit the first stitch, slip the needle through the first stitch made and take it over the second stitch, and you see it's not growing, it's coming off. So I knit my stitch, then take the tip of the needle and slip it and over the stitch I just made. And it's either called a cast off or a bind off. And you can hear my grandbaby on that upstairs, all that little noise. And we take the stitches off. So we have our swatch made. Now we can take this and measure and figure out our gauge. So it's binding off. It's not growing anymore. So take the needle and slip it right over the stitch you just made. So you need at least 2 stitches on the needle to start binding off. Knit 2 stitches, take the tip of the left hand needle, insert it over the first stitch made, and take off the last stitch you just made. And that is our bind off. So our swatch is made. So that's 20 stitches. This is your garter. This is your knit and your purl. This is your knit stitch. We flip it over. You can see the top and the bottom of these almost look the same.
Right.
And then this is your finished selvage. When we slip the first stitch off, it has a nice finish. This would have looked like when you knit on both sides.
Okay.
All right. So first swatch made. Have fun knitting.